Protecting our children today has unfortunately proven to be a challenge, right? Industries that promote pornography or transgender mutilation have been taking aim at our children, making it even more important to be vigilant and proactive. Thankfully, we have some in our government at various levels who have been watchmen on the walls and are doing the best to combat these efforts. One of those leaders is my next guest, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey, who recently instituted a dual age verification policy in his state for porn sites. Attorney General Bailey joins us now by phone. General Bailey, welcome back to Washington Watch. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you, sir. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, let's start with this new rule that you've enabled. According to current law, you found a way to put this into place, requiring age verification for pornographic websites. Explain that.
Yeah, Tony, look, I want Missouri to be the safest state in the nation for children, and we use every tool at my disposal to make that happen. This rule is about protecting kids and reinforcing parental rights to determine what is appropriate for our children to be exposed to. There are smut peddlers across this country who have flooded the internet with explicit imagery and websites that are dangerous for children, quite frankly, and so it's important that we have age verification before youth are able to access these sites. This is the strongest age verification rule in the United States of America, and it requires verification on both the website and the device. And so I'm proud of the work we're doing using current consumer protection law and laws that criminalize the distribution of pornography to minors to stand in the gap and protect kids from these dangerous images.
Has it been challenged yet? And do you anticipate it will be?
I anticipate it will be. Look, there's a lot of money to be made in this industry, and for too long, these people have made it way too easy for children to access these materials. And, you know, there are a lot of people that say, look, freedom on the internet is important, and you shouldn't be passing a rule in one state that interferes with other states' ability or individuals passing through a state to be able to access these websites. But I would challenge them and say, look, if I go onto a website that sells firearms or ammunition, New York and California passed laws that I have to prove I'm 18 before I can access a gun website. And there's a constitutional right to keep and bear arms. And so all we're saying is that there's got to be some kind of safeguard in place. The rule will be promulgated on May 1st. It'll take 90 days to go through the notice and comment period, and will be effective after that. But we're confident in our legal authority. Our state statute provides broad authority for the Missouri Attorney General's office to promulgate rules to protect consumers in the marketplace, and specifically from activities like these.
All right, can you walk us through the process of how this age verification will work and why it's different?
Absolutely. So this is different, again, because it requires age verification at not only the website that is producing the pornographic material, but also the device accessing that website. The rule also requires immediate deletion of any data that's obtained in the accessing of the website in order to prevent data harvesting or online tracking. And so there are robust protections for the consumers and for children, and to enforce parental rights. Search engines have to block explicit images unless the user can provide that age verification.
Now, the internet it's the internet. It's everywhere. Years ago, when I was in the legislature, I ended up passing some legislation similar to this, but it was on gambling. Tried to keep minors from online gambling, tried to restrict that. But because most of these are offshore, reaching and the long arm of the law is sometimes not long enough. How do you plan to enforce it?
Well, we have broad authority to issue investigatory subpoenas to any entity that we have reason to believe may be violating our state consumer protection law. And we've used that in the past, and it's been upheld by the courts. And so we can use that power to conduct broad investigations, and there are both civil and ultimately criminal penalties for violations. And look, what I would say is that foreign actors who do business in the United States of America subject themselves to the laws of the United States of America, to include state consumer protection codes.
Do you expect other states to follow your lead on this?
We've seen several other states that have actually charged into the gap and passed similar laws in their states. I think that I might be the first Attorney General's office to promulgate a consumer protection rule to this effect. But at the end of the day, this is not a new or novel concept. I mean, age gating to protect children from pornography has been the standard for printed materials for a long time, and we're going to make it the standard for digital images online as well.
We only have about 40 seconds left, but quickly want to ask you this question. Pornography is really the tip of the iceberg of what kids are being exposed to online. It is a dangerous world. Isn't that part of what's prompting you to take these actions?
Absolutely. Everyone knows, based on the documentation in the public domain, the dangerous health outcomes, mental and physical, inability to reach full maturity, that are the negative outcomes from children being exposed to pornography, and that the age at which children have been exposed to pornography has gotten lower and lower in the past years with its increased availability online. We know that the average age of exposure is 11 to 12 years old. Now, that's too young. 90% of boys, 60% of girls, by the time they're teens, have seen pornography. We've got to do more. We can and will make Missouri the safest state in the nation for children.
And the effects are long-lasting. General, always great to talk with you. Thanks so much for joining us.